What's going on, Workforce? Brian and Chris here, and today alongside the community we're going to be doing our tier list for Endwalker. As today is the 19th and obviously the game is delayed, we thought this would be kind of a fun thing to do. Now note that how this is going to work is that we actually have to come to a consensus. We have to agree, and thus there might be some horse trading when it comes to these tiers. So just note that as this progresses, you guys, your feedback here with us live or your feedback with us and the comments will help kind of inform this how it goes. So be sure to like and subscribe for more, and hopefully this video brings you some fun joy to take us into Endwalker. Chris, feel free to say anything, but we've got a lot to talk about.
I'm ready.
You're ready. All right, guys.
I think we're going to be 100% in agreement.
Oh,
I think we're going to be just totally, everything is going to be Sid tier, and we're going to crush it.
Yeah, that's your prediction, your hypothesis, everything's Sid tier?
Everything's Sid tier. We're going to be very happy.
Oh, we'll see, because I've got some opinions. I'm sure chat has some opinions. I see them saying in chat right now, it's time for chaos. So we're here to kill chaos. Chris, where the board's yours, man. Where do you want to start?
I mean, let's start with the imaginary stuff. Let's start with Reaper and Sage. We haven't seen them yet.
All right, sounds good.
So we don't know. I mean, we're guessing, right? We're guessing.
Yeah, so we got Reaper.
Like, look how much brighter Reaper's icon is than the others.
Yeah, exactly.
It hasn't been tainted by DPS queues.
No,
look
not yet.
How sad they are. They get so dark and gloomy.
And those are
30 minutes
and
or more.
Those are the official. I had to go out online and download those. But those are a part of the kits that they give out personally.
Sage hasn't been told to adjust yet. They're so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. So part of me thinks these jobs are going to be a lot of fun to play.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
A huge portion of that being based on the fact that you and I have actually gotten to play them, and they were a ton of fun to play.
100%.
But they're going to be messed up by the fact that everybody else is going to want to play the same thing. So, like, Sages are going to be competing for Sage slots in raids. Reapers are going to be competing in DPS queues. When you go to roll on loot, everybody's going to be like, well, I really want that for my Reaper and Sage. So, like, I don't see how these aren't going to cause drama because of the amount of hype.
Okay.
So, like, I would put them solidly somewhere in the middle of the pack, because, like, I can tell you as a tank main, going into the expansion as a tank main, I am super nervous about people who are just going to, like, take Sage through, like, Palace of the Dead, and it's going to be their first healer. I'm like, yeah, I soloed it through Palace of the Dead, and here I am in the 81 dungeon. Let's go! And we're going to Tower of Zot, and then they're going to, like, I'm like, hey, can you put Cardia up? And they're like, yeah, I'll use it. No, you put it up now, like Dance Partner. Don't tell me how to play. This is going to go poorly.
Yeah. All right. So you want to feel like
yeah, B tier for Sage.
B tier for Sage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Reaper?
Probably the same place.
Oh, really? All right. I'm gonna give a Reaper an S. Would you?
I'm willing for it to slide above. I'm really excited about it.
Let's see here. I
think it's gonna be
saying,
a great healer once it settles out. But we're talking, it's November 19th right now. What is my initial experience going to be with it?
Mm-hmm.
Mixed.
We got a couple of voted downs on Sage, so Chad has had me lower the Sage to C, and let's see here, voted up for Sage DPS focus. All right, keep them coming in, guys. We'll keep track of those. So we're gonna actually, what I'll do, since we got a couple of both ways right now, we're gonna set Sage in a B and C tier. Note that if you're watching us and this is a recorded video, this will be adjusted throughout the video. So there's probably gonna be some horse trading later on. I think Reaper's going to be obviously incredibly exciting. It's a very powerful job to play, very visually interesting. And when it comes down to DPS, like you're here to do big numbers. You're here to do the damage, and it does have a little bit of that utility brought to it. So overall, I think there's not going to be much drama around Reapers. You're just going to see a bunch of them. Sage, I definitely agree. There's going to be a lot of drama. In fact, actually, I saw some tweets about Frosty getting some heat when it came to like some takes about some advice that somebody decided to give on Reddit, and he basically, anyway. So a lot of people weren't happy with his advice, but I read through it. I was like his advice is solid. Like, all right, man. Just a lot of people having very strong opinions. So Sage is getting the drama tier, B and C.
I think there'd be a ton of fun to play, and once they settle in, this game is incredibly well balanced.
Yeah,
everything will be valid in everything.
All right, I'm gonna come in with my take here. I'm gonna say Red Mage is gonna be Sid tier.
I don't see how the casters don't just have a tea party with Sid up there.
Yeah,
like Red Mage looks phenomenal.
Do you feel red? Do you think we could put Red, Black, and Summoner all in Sid tier?
I think Summoner's a little jaded that they got to not do a complete makeover and join them in the Sid tea party, but yeah, I think that's fair. I think Summoner's probably a little pissed. Summoner's probably a little toxic about the other two getting to join them up there. But yeah, I think they're the winners. Like the casters got together. I mean, it's just good teamwork.
Yeah.
You know, the basics. I picture a coach like this is going to be about fundamentals.
Just absolutely.
Good core gameplay, logical core changes. And Summoner's like, I completely redid my whole image. Black Mage, Red Mage are like, well, you didn't have to do that. Nobody told you to do that. You went off and did all that. I'm very happy with all three casters. I don't see and actually that's what's going to be. What's exciting is they're ranged, right? So they're not competing with Reapers in that melee slot.
Mm-hmm. So essentially on that note, though, I've seen chat obviously saying voted down for Black. They said voted up for Red, and there's nothing higher right now than Sid tier. It'd be kind of neat to have a new tier revealed. Oh, Sid plus 1 tier.
It's probably Summoner tier.
Above
tier. Sid. It's probably Summoner tier. So. Awesome.
So, guys, and I'm still seeing Black Mages being voted down. So we'll take Black Mage down to A tier for now. We'll see what happens.
Oh no. But Enochian's a trait, guys. It didn't fall off. Why is it falling? That's them just slowly sliding out of their ley lines.
Yeah, exactly. Just slightly. All right. So
imagine they announce Endwalker right now. They announce on the 19th. Endwalker is going to be every single dungeon's going to have twice come ruin, and they're all going to have to. There's going to be lots of movement, and Black Mage just slowly falls down the board.
Yeah, exactly. That was my turn. Chris, board is yours.
Let's get a tank up there.
Okay.
I'm just gonna test the waters with this. Where do you think on Dark Knight?
I think Dark Knight is gonna be probably between an A and a B right now.
Okay.
It feels good, but when I compare it to, because I'm also in my mind also relating it to the other jobs in the category, and I came out of the media tour feeling like Warrior was just crushing. Like it just felt beastly, in that regards, right? So,
did you use the Salted Earth macro?
I do use Salted Earth as a macro. I do like the Salted Earth change that they did
Salted Earth macro to target or macro to self?
It was always macro to target. Now it's
that'll
just
be an adjustment.
Yeah, so it's going to be a slight adjustment there, and that's okay. Like I'm not too worried, but that just
it's
means
not that big of a difference in most instances.
Well, that just
occasionally
means,
I would drop a Salted Earth where I was headed.
Exactly, like that's where it was Salted Earth plunge. Hey, boom, this is where I'm going to be. Now it's like, okay, this is where I'm at. Now I'm going to use Salted Earth. So there was a change there. So where do you feel Dark Knight should be?
I'm seeing Dark Knight get moved up a little. I was willing to let you settle it. I'm willing to test the waters. I am looking forward to tanking in the expansion, and Dark Knight is the one that I have the least opinion on. It feels like it just stayed the same. It's like I don't feel good or bad about it. It's like yeah. I mean, it was a good tank before. It's a good tank now.
Well, and like building off of Shadowbringers, Dark Knight was the job of the box. Like it feels really good. Yeah. In fact, I was always between Dark Knight and Gunbreaker in terms of how it feels on the controller. It feels great on the controller. Like overall, like I'm very pleased with it. If anybody wants to vote it up or vote it down, feel free. Just make sure you sound off with Dark, so I know that's how you're spending your points. We do have a voted down. Oh, and a voted up, so they cancel themselves out. Great. All right, so I'm willing to settle with this. Again, guys, this isn't set in stone. We will go back through and review once everything's been placed and let you guys also have a say, making sure that things are getting put where it needs to be. All right. Dark Knight stays the same as the worst tank. We got another voted down. So I'm going to split it right here where I was kind of originally thinking between A and B.
Okay.
All right. Let's see here. What do you, so you went with that.
I do think Dark Knight's worse than Black Mage, so that feels appropriate.
I'm going to bring Warrior into this and put it actually at Sid tier.
It might actually be Summoner tier. It might be above Sid tier.
We could start to be like start cutting them off. Dadgummit, Brian.
So good. They're almost leaving the game. They're almost too good. They're almost too good.
They've transcended.
They are transcending. Yeah, Warrior feels incredible. Warrior honestly feels like Warrior went into God mode, and then the other tanks were just trying to keep up.
Yeah, 100%.
It led to charge. A lot of the things that the other tanks got that they're so excited about, Warrior's like, yeah, I was already doing that, but sure, I'm happy for you. Oh, by the way, since you guys are getting things, I'm just gonna make my stuff free if that's cool.
Yeah,
and then I'm gonna add Atomic Fellcleave to the game. Is that everybody good with that?
Everybody good? Well, and also the spam itself feels tighter, and it just feels very like visceral. Like, and that's what I came out like having played it. I was like, good. This actually feels where Shadowbringer's Warrior was kind of just like, okay, you're over here. But this time it felt like, oh, this is feeling like really solid, a really good playthrough experience. I'm very excited to see. And also the AoE changes across the board just make me happier as a controller player, because it's like, oh, good. So I've got some good options for that going forward in the future.
Good, man.
All right,
Maximum Oonga Boonga.
That was my pick. Board is yours.
There's some haters voting Warrior down right now.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll just take it down to an S.
I mean, whatever's going on with Warrior, it's amazing. I will be Warrior main. The only way I wasn't going to be a Warrior main is if they deleted the Soul Stone, and it actually came out way ahead.
Okay.
Let's pick another melee.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Samurai, who is the melee warrior. They get a series of stickers for not talking in class, and then they get to cast Fellcleave. That is effectively how Samurai works. That's why when you guys are like, Chris, you don't have your dot up, that's because in my mind, I'm building towards Fellcleave. Samurai Fellcleave. I can't actually pronounce any of the Samurai abilities, so we're just going to call it Samurai Fellcleave.
Okay. I've always called Samurai the Black Mage with the sword, so it's like...
Okay.
Yeah. It's the job that I relate to other jobs and how awesome it is.
So with it being a Black Mage or a Warrior, I'd put it right between them, between S and A.
Okay. There we go.
Just let it be tied to those.
Oh, we're getting some vote ups on Sam.
So I like Samurai quite a bit. I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
But I like it. I'm having trouble keeping in my mind which thing is which sticker.
I'm going to move these a little bit.
Now, somebody told me this week that what they do is they macro their DPS abilities on position-based jobs. Now, to everybody out there that's optimizing your DPS, they're immediately like, no! But the reason they macro it is for the ability to change its name. And they change its name to the positional. So that when they mouse, and then they have their ability name shown so that they can see the positionals. And that makes me wish that there was a way to put nicknames on things, just so that, like, if you haven't played Monk in a while, you're remembering the positionals.
Yeah.
Because you know from looking at them and where they're bound, what order, what casts off what, and then the little combo things blinking around it. You know that, but what you don't remember, what's going on with that. Because positionals is one area that I'm really struggling with melee.
Red Mage is getting some ups and down votes, so they've now fallen a little bit out of Sid tier and into S tier. Another voted up. Okay, so Red Mage is back in Sid tier. I've decided that just as kind of
that's just them bouncing in and out, man. At some point, they're going to leap off the platform.
I know, and then the one of the things that we will do is that basically nothing is locked in place. Once things start falling and stacking up on the far left side, that means it's locked, and so we'll let you know before anything gets locked in place as a part of any decision based off you guys and us. All right, board is mine. I want to go with a healer, but we'll come back to healers because you did talk about Monk. I really actually enjoyed overall the changes. I thought that Monk did actually much better as a controller player, but it didn't have an identity for me in Shadowbringers. But what we've seen so far with them building up and kind of having this like perfect balance, like kind of rotation and the stuff coming in earlier, I actually feeling much more positive on Monks as it exists. At the same time, I mean, we'll have to wait and see how it really kind of plays out, because when you think about it, like, okay, how does Monk fit in with Reaper and Samurai and Dragoon? And so thus I'm going to put Monk right now at an A tier in terms of its design changes and more. Chris, feel free to...
I have liked Monk a little bit more every time it has leveled. And it's getting massive changes that could help us understand when we change a job, does it change how it levels? Because it's going to be Like, yes, Summoner's changing a lot, but Monk is also affecting like what order like chakras unlock and things like that. And so it's doing some things that it's really paving the way for all jobs to get a little bit better as the new player experience. So I think what it's doing is exciting. And I think the fact that I've liked it a little more every time it has said level up, 10 more levels can only help it. But unfortunately, I would say that from 1 to 50, I leveled Monk to 39.
Yeah.
And instead I always wondered how the boost experience worked. Like when you boost a class, does it log you out? Is the gear delivered by mail? Like, is it hard to buy things on the store? Because sometimes I try to buy things on the store and they're like, oh, it assigned to the wrong character. So I just wanted to try it and they were half off. So I boosted my Monk from 39 to 70, leveled it from 70 to 80. And every step along the way, I liked it more. I actually loved the boost experience because getting my things trickle fed to me from 1 to 50, I was hating.
Yeah.
The problem is I just disliked it so much along the way. It has been my least favorite job to level in the entire game. And so I would put it like a lot further down. I don't know how much further down. I'm hopeful for what it is in Endwalker, but as of this moment, as of the 19th, we were supposed to be in Endwalker right now, but we're not. And so as of right now, my Monk is sitting geared, ready to go. I got my relic. I bought the 485. I slammed it with like Eden and Bosja gear. It's ready to redeem itself. This is a game about redemption. It's got to sit down and see. So I guess, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna because I'll give you a B between B and C, just like with Sage. I don't like it.
I appreciate that there's Monk mains. I can't do it.
I'm excited for the changes overall. I think that the changes they made in Shadowbringers were very positive overall. But it still felt like, what is it really doing? And so I think, and I'm hopeful that we'll see. Obviously Monk giving that Sabian Final Fantasy VI vibes. That's what I got from watching, playing a little bit. But that's where we're gonna put it there at the time being. So guys, I've seen Monk getting voted up, so we're gonna go ahead and move that into a full B tier. If you guys can let us know.
Yeah, we're not basing this on any one thing. This isn't on DPS output. It's not on utility. It's not on fun. This is just ranking the jobs.
This is
feelings.
Yeah.
Which is why we know that if this gets shared to Twitter, it will be wrong.
Oh yeah. But share it to Twitter, guys.
Be offended.
Oh, right. Yeah. All right. I did Monk, so board's yours.
All right. We'll go with my second least favorite job to level. Bard. I was told this week in stream that Work to Game only exists to crap on Bard. Our entire plan this whole time is to cover this game so that we can talk about Bard singing how much they suck. I like Bard quite a bit as it gets into the 70s. I like the new samurai sticker system giving the divination, and I think that before leveling up Bard would have easily been F. I'm willing to bring Bard way up to like a D rank. I think
that's a jump.
Really exciting. That's a huge jump.
Yeah.
That's a huge jump.
I see a lot of people saying,
now.
Yeah.
They get their 3 stickers and then they cast their divination and it boosts everybody. Solid D rank. Thanks for boosting everybody else. We had to bring you anyway. You get who you get.
I'll give it an E until we see really how it shakes out with the rest of the jobs. And,
somebody saying Work the Game only exists to crap on Bard made me laugh, and it's like, wow, I hope I never like Bard now.
This is the guys who hate on Bard, right? Yeah. Sing me a song out, you suck, Bard. All right, we're getting a voted up and a voted down, so we'll split the difference and put it at a B and E tier based off of people's votes and also the chat as well. So I'm just factoring it all in. There's no science behind this.
Why am I playing with a Bard? Because it was assigned to me in Duty Finder, which is D and F, so that's the range it's going to live in.
Oh man, and another voted down, so it's good. It's falling back into E now. All right, my board is mine. Let's go with Astro.
Oh, you're a hater.
Oh, as a controller player, I need to spend a ton of time with it as a controller player, but the RNG burst window mechanics of the raid and Shadowbringers, I was really pleased that I wasn't Astroing. I came out of Shadowbringers not pleased with the changes they made. I still would like to see ultimately a few more things. However, when you actually look at what they bring to parties and how it's going to be a pure dedicated healer now, I honestly came out of the tour. I'm going to say it's a S, especially as it's going to be, I think, very impactful in the raids.
I expected to have to defend why it was an S against your controller hate.
Are you feeling like an S already? I'm trying to think beyond just transcendence of my opinion. I'm just trying to factor in all of these points of views, and I'm like a machine, right?
A job that changed. So like the reason that like it's exciting to see that jobs changed, and White Mage and Scholar effectively were assigned to the jobs that they already did within the 2 new types of healers, so they didn't need that much of a change. And so what's exciting about Astro is it feels like a new healer, not to the level of Sage, but it does feel different. And I love that me screwing it up doesn't affect my party. Me screwing it up affects me. As a casual healer, I really adore that. So, I would leave it right where you had it.
Well, and I see some chat having us voted down a little bit. I see Neff talking about how Bard should be an A, but you can use your channel points, Neff, if you want to vote it up.
To get it to an A?
You can get it there.
Yeah.
You can get it there as long as people don't then work against you.
Reasonable-minded people.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. So I went with that. So are we good with sitting with Astro at an A tier right now? Chat's voting it up. So we'll let you guys kind of like help kind of volleyball that.
I do think it's solid. I think it's solid. I don't really think it should be above Warrior, but I'm okay with it sliding above Dark Knight.
All right.
Let's get another tank in the mix. Let's get Gunbreaker with all the extra bullets, man.
Gunbreaker, more bullets.
They got bullets for days.
And the controller can change for continuation. Ooh,
so somehow it has 3 bullets, and I feel hungrier for cartridges now than I did in Shadowbreakers.
Yeah.
Hungry cartridge, man. That's where I'm at. Consume those cartridges. And so I'm really excited for Gunbreaker. And as I level, I want my Gunbreaker to be within 1 to 2 levels of my Warrior at all times, because the amount of experience coming out of MSQ has been wildly dialed up. And so if I am not at the level 90 quests and my Warrior dings out to 90, I am actually going to switch to Gunbreaker as my main until I get to the 90 quests, and then I'll finish the story on Warrior. So I would put Gunbreaker wherever people have put Warrior. So they put it on S. I'm going to slide it in there. It's along for the ride. It is riding shotgun for me. It is my backup class going into Endwalker. I'm super pumped for it. Super pumped.
Absolutely. All right, I'm going to agree. I think Gunbreaker is coming in as a solid S. The visual aesthetics, to jump in on the tanks with Paladin, feel incredible. I loved also the change to range, not breaking combos. Overall, I think that's going to be really solid. As a controller player, I'd give Paladin right now an A. But at the same time, if you take that off and not have that restriction, I could easily see Paladin being an S tier as well. So I'm willing to go S. That's really going to be up to you and to chat.
They're voting Gunbreaker up right now. I would say the only way Gunbreaker goes Sid tier for me is I assume you guys know something that I don't about it getting cooler looking gun blades.
Oh, we got 2 votes.
And I'm not a cosmetic based player, but when I hear what a gun blade is, I'm like, okay, well, that has to look awesome.
Yeah.
Like that is such a Final Fantasy style weapon. You know, when you have like magic grenades, like that idea of having something that's like, it's machine and it's not, it's magical and it's physical, like that contradicting, it's the concept behind how I visualize steampunk. That idea of contrast is always what I've appreciated about Final Fantasy, and a gunblade feels like such a Final Fantasy weapon to me.
Yeah, 100%.
Paladin dropping those swords.
Swords on swords.
They are dropping Buster Swords from the sky.
Yeah.
They drop, as part of their rotation, they drop like 10 Dark Knight weapons on people's heads. So they are worth probably 10 times as many Dark Knights, but they are not as good as Warrior. I appreciate that we have a sword and board class, so I would put them between them. I would slide it in A rank, dead between Dark Knight and Warrior. Only because Paladin cannot be better than Warrior. I get that they get the box art. They're pretty. They're definitely the tank that you bring home to meet your mother. You know, totally reputable, but they don't have that edginess. That's not who you sneak out to go out to the club with. Like
right now, there's a lot of votes, and Paladin's just seeing this kind of pop in, pop out. So we'll start to I got a couple ups and downs. I'm not fully going between A and S, but we'll just keep it there. We'll come back and revisit Paladin with chat here in a little bit. All right, that was my choice. So actually no, I went Paladin, so the board is yours.
Box art's done. We're going to Thavnair.
Yeah.
Let's see a dancer. Let's see a dancer.
All right, where are we going?
They cleaned it up, and as somebody that jumps to DPS as a backup,
Yeah,
I appreciate how much cleaner it's going to feel on the hotbars. So I think it's above wherever Monk settled, below Black Mage. I'd put it between A and B. It's no Black Mage, but it's coming out ahead of Monk.
it also doesn't have like new job, like shiny in that regards, because obviously
Davner.
Yeah, the Avenir is going to be its.
You got statues.
All kinds.
Do you know how hard a crafter had to work to get a statue in Shadowbringers? Dancers just stroll into Endwalker, and they've got a whole zone waiting for them.
Get some chats voting down Dancer.
Dancer's also the only job that was in a trailer before it was added to the game, because we all know that was a dancer dancing on that hand. And then there was not a dancer in Stormblood. That was 100% a dancer. We were convinced that was a dancer.
Mm-hmm.
So dancer has been represented since before it was in the game.
All right,
What
I
is
like.
happening?
We have people voting Black Mage down.
I cannot believe Black Mage.
So far, is it a B?
Those are haters, man. Those are people running meters, and they're just jealous. They're just admitting that they're running meters right now. That's what's happening.
All right, Dancer is greater than Sam, is what they're saying. So we got a couple.
They do realize that
voted
Yoshi is a Black Mage main, right?
Yeah,
they are aware of that.
Dancer, Sam,
and has played the game on controller, and
Yeah.
Xbox controller, no less. In live letters, he used to always play the game on an Xbox controller.
Yeah.
Somebody's like, they're never going to bring it to Xbox. I don't know about never.
Oh my gosh.
Dancer looks good.
Dancer's getting so many vote ups.
I can't believe it's that good. It's not changing that much.
Yeah.
It's just getting easier. It's more inviting. It's basically what happened to Crafters and Gatherers and Shadowbringers. It's more inviting.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe they're Bunny Boy fans. Maybe they want, maybe, I mean, Bunny Boy seems like they'd either be Dark Knights or Dancers. I don't know why. Something about their slinkiness. They're either like sitting back ready to dance, or they're sitting back because they got a giant Buster Sword hanging from their back. Either way, they should see a doctor. That posture is alarming. They got their hips out, like they're gonna like duel or something.
Mm-hmm. All right, board's mine. I'm gonna stick with the healing category. I'm gonna say White Mage. Give me Sid tier.
I guess they didn't really change that much. They got a tree.
Didn't have to change.
Everybody else was changing. They're planting a tree for Arbor Day. They're part of Mr. Beast's tree plan.
Yeah.
They're doing it. That's it. That's all that they know.
And is the Fisher joining Team C's?
You know, I would actually push them down for being boring, but I appreciate them taking some time out of their day to no longer blind us with flashbangs.
Mm-hmm.
The new Holy is so pretty.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty is the word. It's a big, beautiful flower. White Mage can stay up there.
We've had 2 for voted up to move it higher than Sid tier, and we've had 2 voted down, so they've kind of just canceled themselves out. So
all right,
we'll keep it there for now.
White Mage, Team Trees, guys. Now they're Team C's. I bet White Mage is even involved in Team C's. I bet they're cleaning up.
The joke was that Fisher. We don't have it on the board, but it's like Team C's. Cleaning up that trash. All right, let's see here. Board is yours.
So if we took Scholar and we put it in the F tier that people are mad about it, and then we activated its free in-battle sprint ability, how high up the board do you think it could run?
I don't think
it could make it to at least. It's a long buff. I bet it could make it all the way to S.
It depends on the raid, right? Like you pop that in S9, E9S, like it would literally destroy everybody, and so then you just end up being trolly. So.
I legitimately think it's going to be good. I think people are underestimating it.
The shields they got are huge.
I legitimately think it is going to. There's no way we don't see it. I think it's going to be in World Prog. I think we will see it in the World First Race.
The shields that it has are massive.
It's going to be phenomenal.
Massive shielding. So
it's going to be phenomenal. I think I would activate that speed buff and I would run it all the way to S tier. But I understand people are upset. And Yoshi P expressed in his interview with, I believe, Mione and Shenpai, that he regretted not spending more time on it, but they were tight for time. They wanted to spend time with Sage, and he felt like Scholar didn't change that much. It was already good. And so it wasn't that they were ignoring the job. I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah, we'll put it right now.
I wish the pets had gotten changed.
Yes. I wish the pets had gotten changed.
Scholar and Summoner met for a meeting and said, we like who we are, right? Yeah, we're totally proud of who we are. So we're not going to change a lot? And then Summer went and did a whole remake. And Scholar's like, what the hell? You told me we were just going to come as we were. Like, Scholar has got to get those pets. Just have them do something different. When I pop one of my abilities, one of the fairies makes it a regen, the other one makes it a direct heal, or something minor. The pets feel forgotten. But otherwise, I think Scholar's in a good place. You know, and honestly, like, Summoner's a little hot for its britches there. It thinks it's hot stuff right now, and it kind of, you know, it left Scholar behind. It screwed over the other casters. Like, we all said we were happy with Shadowbringers, and Summoner had to go raise the stakes. What a dick.
Scholar started off at a C tier. Actually started off as an S, and y'all have voted it all the way up right now to an S tier. So, you know, ultimately, like, I would vote it down a little bit more. So it's up to y'all if y'all want to help vote that down. But we'll come back and nothing is set. Just to remind anybody who's just joining us, none of this is set yet.
Scholar's also the best healer for leveling roulette, because you can just let your fairy do most of the work.
If you're geared, it's like, I'm not here to care.
It's like MSQ roulette as you're leveling roulette. It just handles things. In those low levels, like Sistasha, you're fine.
You got to vote it down into the A tier. I thought all of a sudden, I was like, are we surrounding Paladin with healers?
Oh,
so beautiful. All right. I went with Scholar, so the board is yours. We got 3 left to rate.
What's important is that Scholar ran past Bard. That's really what's important here.
Yeah.
God, I don't want to do 2 melee last.
Let's be honest. Scholar definitely doesn't deserve S tier. Y'all are setting it.
Let's do Dragoon.
Dragoon. Right, where are we putting it?
So, Ephoristinian.
Ephoristinian? What the hell?
But then leaping forward
to
D for their lovely dragon.
Okay.
And then bouncing all over the place up to a solid B rank.
Dragoon at a B? Man, Dragoon is just... It's so iconic, dude.
Like,
it feels good. Like, I want
to give it. There's a lot of great jobs up there.
Oh, dude, it's got a buff utility for everybody. Like, it's incredible. I would have put it easily between a Sid and a S. You know.
All right. But look at those voted downs coming in.
A lot of voted downs.
Look at those C tiers coming in.
C for Dragoon? Are you guys? Am I crazy? Okay, we got to vote it up for Dragoon. Thank goodness. All right, I'm gonna let it settle in at between an A and a B tier right now. Dragoon's better than Sam. Like,
How the hell did Dragoon pass Black Mage?
I'll put it back in the S tier. Voted down. Jeez. 2 voted downs. That's back in the B tier. People got opinion. Oh, voted up. Oh, this is great. Dragoon is like, it's a hot commodity.
It's bouncing. It's got a lot of jumps.
It is literally jumping up and down.
It's got a lot of jumps.
Yeah.
Voted
up. Y'all have actually now voted it up into a Sid tier and back down into an S tier.
That is alarming.
Voted down.
It's not the box art because it would be spoilery.
Another voted down. Tank the floor. Are y'all gonna vote it down to E?
Anybody who likes Dragoon wants its buffs or runs with trusts.
Oh my gosh.
I just don't see how it shares gear with Reaper, and I don't see how you don't just play Reaper.
I had no idea that Dragoon was just going to be this controversial. Like, I thought we would have at least like 2 jobs that were just like top of the board, bottom of the board, everybody, and that I figured that's why it would settle in at a B, C tier. But like, I'm seeing up, a down, so that's 1 up essentially. Another down.
Look at those downs.
It is literally jumping all over the place. It's stuck right now in animation lock.
This is how it ends up as a 4 tank.
This is
where it needs to be.
It's stuck in animation lock right now between that time of jumping. It's like, no, I want to do something. Oh my gosh, what the hell? This is insane. High jump, back up and down, and another. Oh my gosh, another down.
Look at all those downs.
And then up.
Oh, it is a down arrow. I mean, that's what's going on.
All right, ups to downs, double up and 1 down.
To carry a down arrow around. That's what makes it on the floor so often.
Oh, and
the
a
down
double
arrow
down.
just pulls it down. It's trying.
And then an up and a down.
But I bet all that jumping, I bet
2
it has
downs.
serious calf muscles.
Another down, another up that cancels itself out.
This is it.
Down again. Oh my gosh, it's going to the floor. Up,
This is what channel points are for. People building these channel points. I've been streaming full time for 11 months.
Oh, it hit the floor,
12
guys.
months. I started streaming in December. I went full time in January.
Oh, and it's still
channel points have been relatively unspent. So you have 500,000 channel points.
Y'all are voting it beyond the game.
Oh my god. Oh no, it is going to leap off the platform. It doesn't come back from that. That's it. It stays down there.
We haven't logged. We haven't logged.
All right. Machinist.
Yeah.
Merle Webb is a musketeer, not a machinist. That's why we need Corsair in the game. There's a Corsair trainer waiting for us in Limsa, in the Marauder, the warrior area. And it could take over the archer components of Bard, and Bard could just be a full-time bow mage focusing on singing. But until then, Musketeer is like our Gunbreaker, right? They're our gun wielder. They got flamethrowers, they got shotguns, they got robots. I don't know what's going on with Machinist. They got a heat gauge. Heat is good, but not good. I don't know. I struggle with Machinist lore-wise fitting with the other ones. I don't know why I don't struggle with Gunbreaker being in the game. I struggle with Machinist being in the game. It feels like the Yorha raids. Every time I have him on Machinist, I'm like, what am I doing here? But I like it. But it also feels like Smash Brothers, where I just like brought another character in because I can.
Okay.
I'd put it in the middle of the pack, but like
I'd give Machinist between S and A. Now, I mean, I guess when you look at how it ultimately performed, I think people probably like really didn't want it, but I love the changes, and they are getting a new punch. They're getting obviously finally chainsaw. Like overall, like it gives me Edgar vibes from 6. So we got Monk with Sabian, Machinist with Edgar. So I love the theming behind these. Machinist overall, I think is incredibly. It's going. I think it's going to go into the expansion in a good position, especially where when you look at Dancer, Bard. If they can get Bard right, I think essentially the 3 different ranges are going to be, I think, fairly solid. Really good options for a lot of players. And yeah, I like the changes, but yeah, I can put it to be.
The changes are pretty minor. I mean, physical range changes were described by Yoshi P with the word orthodox.
Mm-hmm.
Like orthodox is not wildly exciting. Like it's like that's kind of how I feel about it. Like they're still going to be in the game doing their thing.
Some people calling to vote it down, and so I'll just keep taking a look at that.
And then finally, that's what Mr. Happy did his Palace of Dead clear on, right?
Exactly. It's got a lot.
That's a pretty common one for that.
Mm-hmm. Damn, another voted down. All right, I'm gonna go with Ninja, so that way we can finish, and then that way we'll talk to everybody here on what final.
Ninja is so freaking fast in Endwalker.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fast.
It's got a lot of like just overall adjustments that I think are really strong. For me, Ninja, I know I struggle
single-handedly why our combos now don't break for 30 seconds instead of 15.
That's
like,
huge for the Ninja.
Fast.
That's huge for the Ninja.
So fast. I love the ninjutsu thing. I don't want every job to have it. That would not be a game I want to play, but I love ninjutsu. I think the Mudra system. I love all of it. I love everything. I enjoy ninja so much as what a melee job can be. And if you had described all the melee jobs to me as a non-melee job player in MMOs, it's not the one I would have thought I'd gravitate towards. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Every time I do it. What I don't like is taking a break from it and coming back to it. Nothing about Ninja is like riding a bike. Every time I haven't played it for a little bit and I hop back on, I'm immediately lost.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot.
So essentially, I see that even Chad has voted Ninja up. So right now Ninja is on the Sid tier. So that's actually really good. And then people are asking for Bard to be voted up. So moving that as well. So that's kind of our official scores with you guys' input as well. We have not locked these in place. So now let's do our locking. Once it gets put over here on the left-hand side, everything will kind of be stacked and layered. That's where it will live. So all in all, I see some people asking for voting it up for Bard. That's really good there. Let's go ahead and, guys, with Bard itself, let's go ahead and lock this in. We get a voted down as well. Let's see here. And then a Black Mage. In that,
there's no way Bard is in A tier.
No way.
There's no way.
No way.
All right.
Well, I'm not.
I think we could lock Summoner in first as just above Sid. You're gonna lock Bard in first. Yeah. Everything, like, oh god, we end up with nothing in the D's and E's.
No, I think when we're looking at people in chat talking about Bard,
all right,
and voting it down,
I'll give it a C.
I'll give it a C. I can sleep well with Bard being.
I can survive with that.
All right, I think the other one we can lock in is Summoner.
Yeah.
Summoner.
Summoner stole the show. Like Sage and Reaper are like, we don't even have to try that hard. We're new. Hold my beer. Oh my god, Summoner, amazing.
So we're looking at Black Mage being between A and S, and so we got some votes. And thank you, Amelia Hawk, for the tier 1 gifted subs, gifting 5 to the community. You legend. I could sit here and settle in Bard between Black Mage between an A and an S. I'm seeing obviously a lot of people voted up and voted down. So at its core, I know that people were trying to kind of meme on it, but I'm gonna what do you think, Chris? Are we good to lock Black Mage in between S and A rank?
I guess, but I don't see how it doesn't spend the rest of the expansion in S, because what's going to happen is people are going to forget how good it is when we start settling into running Pandemonium on repeat.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to do MSQ as a Black Mage, in my opinion. It's not a fun class to be in the open world single targeting things. So I'm fine with it sliding down, but over the course of an expansion, as group content takes over, it's just going to rock it up. I think it'll even close on Summoner. Once the newness wears off and Summoner's just a job, I think it'll close the gap.
All right,
but it's somewhere in those top 3.
So I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna go ahead and put it at the A and lock it in there based off of y'all's feedback in chat. So thank you guys. Yeah, thanks guys for the bits.
That's how good Black Mage is.
All right, Reaper, are we
feeling that paradox animation or whatever it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Might be my favorite animation of all the new ones.
Yeah. Are we
the Avatar, the White Mage stuff? That's all beautiful, but the Black Mage animation, stunning.
Are we feeling good where Reaper's at? I didn't see any really people pushing Reaper down at all.
You can leave it up there. They're going to be in our rearview mirrors. They start down at 70. We're going to be blasting through the story without them.
I'm going to be blasting through the story with
You're going
Reaper.
as a Reaper, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
I cannot believe after 11 years you're going to finish the game as a Summoner Scholar main. You're going to finish the saga on a job that didn't exist.
Well, the job didn't exist when I started the saga, so
you would have been a Reaper. Like, that's the job you've been secretly hoping for?
No, I just want to play Reaper.
Man, it just feels like it's the end of an era, and you have to end with, like, this is a memory you will have for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Endwalker will be locked in time as one of your favorite gaming experiences for the rest of your life. Final cutscene, and you're going to be on a job that didn't exist days before you scroll into that final.
I'm on a job that didn't exist when I started Final Fantasy, so it only seems fitting. Right now, Summoner did not exist when I started it, and the new Summoner didn't exist when I started it. So I counter your logic with logic.
All right, all right, no, leave it there.
All right, locked in at S. All right, guys. Now, as things start to pile up, we haven't technically locked in these guys yet. Let's do Red Mage for final. Red Mage coming in at Sid tier.
When Brian started the game.
Yeah, jobs. None of the jobs existed exactly when I started the game. There was no such thing as
Glenn,
jobs.
I'm not trying to make anybody insecure about what job they finished Endwalker in. I'm aware that Shadowbringers will be one of my favorite gaming experiences I ever had, and I didn't know that until after I played it. And with Endwalker, I know that before. And so when I changed my behavior, knowing that Endwalker will be important to me. I went into Shadowbringers blind and came out the other end with my view of gaming changing. I know going in Endwalker that my view of gaming is going to change. So what job do I want to have equipped when I do that?
So I'm having dinner with Chris tonight. We're going to be hanging out for a little guys' night tonight. So if anybody wants for 10,000, like for 10, whatever's at $10, I'll buy him a drink in bits. For 50 whatever dollars, I'll throw it in his face if you guys are really pissed about his opinions. This is for your thoughts on blah. And I'll take a photo of him, and he can throw one in my face, and then we'll get kicked out.
If they keep buying drinks, you're gonna have to drive, right?
Yeah. Well, I'll Uber.
Pick me up.
I'll Uber. All right, let's see here. Red Mage, I'm in love with it. It's got less movement than Black Mage. No, it has got tons of movement. As long as you're understanding. Red Mage feels really good. Real good. I feel like, and then the AOE changes that they've made to it, all in all, like it just feels like it's gonna have way better both movement and feel. And on controller, it feels great. So I'm perfectly fine. If anybody wants to vote it down, looks like we actually had a red mage voted up, but like, oh God, I couldn't put it at the same level as summoner. Yeah, but definitely red mage is more mobile. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and consider that one a lock. All right, let's go with the healers. Sage fell between a B and a C tier.
It's just hard to know where it's gonna fall. I think there's a lot of people excited about it. A new job's always exciting.
Yeah.
I get super concerned that as a warrior main, I'm going to need to be better about having my mitigation and self-heal under control with a new set of players that are saying, I never wanted to be a healer, and now I can be a healer that does DPS. And I'm going to go, okay, well, you still have to heal me. Like it's not no healing. And so I am a little concerned. And that comes from, we ran Tower of Zot with Curious Joy, who is a healer main.
Mm-hmm.
And she still had to heal me. And so, like, as somebody who knows how to heal, learning the job, us realizing, okay, this is a lot to learn. I worry about the learning curve of people going, well, I shot lasers at it. It's not my fault you died. Yes, but it is, though. So I'd leave it right where it is.
All right. I'm going to actually go ahead and say, in terms of just, especially for visual aesthetics, that I'm going to put Sage at a solid B.
I'm not sure I'm not going to like Charlans. And so, like, having them be like, hey, we gave this to you. I'm not sure I like you guys.
Yeah, thank you for that gift.
I think I might be an Asian, though. So, like, I'm not sure that my opinion should be the valid one.
I think if we were focusing on easy things to lock in, I think we can easily lock in Ninja at Sid tier. Any disagreement?
No.
All right. I think the overall chat felt really strong about that one.
They said that I hate Alpha. No, I don't actually enjoy Reddit. I try to. I do. I'm involved in communities over there. I appreciate what those communities mean and the impact they have. I just think it's not for me.
Yeah, 100%.
Cardio won't heal you to full.
We'll save Dragoon for last as the final lock-in. So guys, be sure to get your votes and your thoughts into that one. Gunbreaker, are we satisfied with Gunbreaker being a Sid tier?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Literally, if I could only bring 2 jobs into the expansion, Gunbreaker's one of them.
Are we satisfied with Warrior being S tier?
No. I mean, maybe if inner release isn't up, but it's always up now. The cooldown on it's lower.
Right.
No. Warrior's gonna atomic fell cleave right up to summoner tier. I don't see how it doesn't go higher. Hey.
All right, I'm gonna come back to War. Where there's some people saying War is better than Gunbreaker. Give me some votes, guys. Let me lock it in. So I'm seeing Sid tier as well for Warrior.
It's got to move up.
The anti-knockback for days. Chris is biased though. Chris is biased.
I started the game as a black mage.
Vote it up. All right, good. All right, I'm gonna take those 2 votes and chat's visual feedback and lock it in at Sid tier.
Good.
All right, cool, excellent. And so Warrior's locked, and then we can go from there. All right. Let's see here. Samurai. Are we confident in S? I saw a lot of people.
I put it with Reaper.
You put Samurai and Reaper.
That's a fair duo. I think they're a fair pair. I think that'd be I would happily, if I get 2 melee DPS in a 4-man, I'm happy for those 2 to be it.
I like how Varix is like, and I'm a dark main. But yeah, keep Warrior words. It's like perfect. No. S for sticker.
S for sticker. I like it.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce any of it, but you and I are not the people in the community to represent pronunciation and reading. That's not going to be our S for skill set.
You have the road of it for sure. Sure. Let's see here. And for Dark Knight, we had it split between A and B. I think I'm going to settle on the outside of like Summoner and like kind of floating up here. I'm going to try to keep something locked on a layer in and of itself. So where are we thinking with Dark?
I'm fine with it sliding down to Sage. I think that's a good buddy for it to have.
Yeah, a little Dark Knight, little Sagey, little B.
All I picture is the fantasticness that Living Dead plus Cardia is going to be, where both of them are like, it's not my fault you didn't adjust.
Yeah. B for brooding.
They're going to kill each other.
Yeah, Dark Knight,
Sage,
B for
Dark
brooding.
Knight combo, where it is a new Dark Knight and a new Sage, are going to kill each other.
100%. All right. So we got that locked in. All these are locked. Let's go with Dancer. Splitting the line between S and A. I'm willing
to. It's pretty cool to get your own zone.
It is pretty cool.
But you didn't change anything.
Does Dancer dance
Literally
better?
What Dancer
does
added,
Dancer dance better with Samurai or Black Mage?
What Dancer added is the ability to press the wrong button and it work out. Like they just made it easier to be a dancer.
Oh, people saying S, but
I
people also.
I don't see how it goes past Black Mage. It's cool to get your own zone, but it didn't really change that much. And it is just a giant game of whack-a-mole, but it's gonna be now the same bowl will pop up in 2 places. Your AoE and your single target rotation. So if you have a hotbar for AoE and a hotbar for melee, that'll be easier now.
Yeah. All right, perfect. Locked in at S based off of y'all's votes and feedback. Well, you know, again, this is community. So.
I mean, if Glenn votes up Dancer, if you guys haven't seen Glenn is the dancer of all dancers.
All right, that is locked in place now.
Like snap like that.
All right, let's go. Let's finish off our tanks. Paladin was splitting between S and A rank. I need to know, what do you guys feel like? Should it go up here, or should it go down here?
It's you don't have it. Child. His armor's so shiny.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, swords on swords on swords.
It feels like it could have been cleaned up a little, like Gunbreaker. There's some buttons that.
Yeah, there's 1 or 2 things that I think I would still wish for.
Some things that are a little clumsy. It was my least favorite tank in Shadowbringers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I'm still frustrated. Black Mage is down today.
Yeah.
So I'd put Paladin today just out of spite. Sorry, Rory. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm gonna go ahead and lock it in an S.
But I do like Misstep guides, so like I don't want to hate on it too loudly. What if she somehow bans me from watching her guides?
Yeah. I see lots of S's, lots of A's, so that just kind of bounces back and forth. Poster Child, I think, pushes it for me into that S tier because it is so beautiful. It is so beautiful.
I mean, Dark Knight was the poster child of Shadowbringers, and the correct job to finish the 5.0 story on is still Warrior, so Paladin could be the poster child.
Do we feel? I know Scholar got a little bit of heat. Do we want to finish it off with an A because that's kind of where we put it prior to with all the different votes and things like that? Are you guys? Is everybody good with Scholar being an A tier? Or do you? And where do you feel?
Yeah.
You feel good?
I think it's going to be that good. I think people are underestimating it heavily.
I like how chat's still talking about. Is there a correct job to finish the story on? Chris, with your
finish it on whatever you want. Warrior's just the most enjoyable.
With your spicy.
If you don't want to enjoy it, then do it whatever you want.
With your spicy taste.
You don't have to enjoy the game as much as I did. That's okay.
Chili saying Scholar should be at an A. I mean, sorry, an S tier. I have a hard time getting back behind that. If they made fairy changes, I'd 100% agree with that. I'd 100% agree with that with fairy changes. But the fairy system needs to kind of be relooked and looked at some point on that regards. And I'm definitely not going to give Scholar an F. Those shields are magnificent and things like that. Chris pronounces Red Mage funny. I don't know why you call Red Mage a warrior.
Last expansion.
Yeah.
People have been asking for a hammer class. You got one. And you're a warrior of light. You're not a red mage of light.
Yeah.
You're a warrior of light. It's in the name.
It's going to be funny for anybody who jumps to the end of this video and be like, what? I didn't get the context. I just looked at the image and now I'm pissed. Welcome to social media. All right. We got a couple of jobs to lock in before we wrap up this video. What do you feel?
Where's White Mage going to go?
White Mage right now splitting between Sid and S. I'd be willing because I'd be willing to go White Mage Sid tier and Astrologian S tier.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I feel real good about kind of how this is currently breaking down in that regards.
I love that Sage is new and it slides at the bottom. You got to earn your spot.
Yeah.
You can't just start at the top.
Like, welcome, freshman.
Healers earn their trust.
Yeah, 100%.
It is not given.
All right, let's lock in Monk and Machinist, shall we? Machinist splitting between B and C.
I mean, Bard is looking lonely, and part of me likes that. Let's slide up to B.
Oh, that's great. Oh, I'm actually seeing people saying Machinist should be A tier, but I'm also seeing people spend points and putting it into a C tier.
Dark Knight Sage Machinist Monk party sounds perfectly adequate to me.
Yeah.
That's a solid light party.
Oh, I'm seeing it up. I'm seeing people vote it up. I'm seeing people vote it up.
I don't know about that high.
I can give it B. I can give Machinist a B tier very easily, and feel good and sleep good at night. Yeah, see, ups and downs. So that's great.
I won't. Yeah, I won't lose sleep over B.
All right. Does Monk live here at the B tier?
Yeah.
With a lock?
Until we see it. It could be way better, but it's just...
Oh.
So the problem with Monk is you practice it on a dummy, but positionals in context are very different.
Mm-hmm.
The first time that boss spins to cast something on the healer and you miss a positional, Monk doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
And so and people are like, well, you're supposed to true north. Yes, but I didn't know the boss was going to spin instantly. So like if you're just trying to relax, play your way through normal content, Monk feels like it's most punished for playing normal.
Mm-hmm.
But I would still put it on B to keep the bard alone.
What say you, chat? Is Monk going in Endwalker B?
I mean, without positionals, Monk would be boring. So like I get why they're there.
Monk is a solid A with Chris and Brian A. Bard.
All
right.
Should get work to game shirts that say "At least I'm not a bard."
At least I'm not a bard. All right, we got locked in. We got Monk locked in at the B. Now you guys voted Dragoon into the F tier. Like y'all literally
F for floor tank.
F for floor tank.
Animation lock. I mean, they're getting better about animation lock. They've continually gotten better about animation lock, but
so
if there is ever an animation lock issue, it will always affect Dragoon first.
This is the last stand for Dragoon. So are we memeing on Dragoon that like going into Endwalker pretty hard? I mean, people are even voting it down still.
Cupcake says that's the name of this tier list video. At least I'm not a bard.
At least I'm not a bard. You laugh, but that's what I'm going to call it. It's going to be so confusing. I don't care if it only gets like 5 views because the name's not going to make sense.
At least I'm not a bard.
At least I'm not a bard. D for Dragoon.
Endwalker tier list. At least I'm not a bard.
Okay, voting it up and down. People are still voting it down.
Down, man. It's going to summoner it up. It's going to slide into the bottom half of the F tier. It's almost going to slide out of the game.
I love Dragoon. You all suck. But right now, y'all are.
You know what I love about Dragoon?
What?
Is this could be locked in as the official tier list of Final Fantasy, and I would still level mine to 90.
Yeah.
There is something fun and satisfying about Dragoon. So
shirt design idea, Dragoon lying on the floor.
Of it to have fun with it. It's like no. It's like eating at a really crappy restaurant that you love. Like it's a greasy spoon of a job. Like it's like no. Dragoon is bad, and I love it for that. That's what I love about Dragoon.
See, I just as like I would have put Dragoon. I would have put Dragoon at S, but it looks like people have now voted it finally up into a D tier. It was almost off the board completely.
Care. Yeah, it can sit below Bard, and I will still enjoy it more than Bard.
And then it should have a shirt that's having it dead on the ground saying, "At least I'm not a bard."
At least I'm not a bard.
All right, are we? I'm people voting it up, voting it down again. Oh man, you guys like Dragoon is spicy for some reason. Oh, we're plus 12 on Dragoon. Okay. Up. You would buy that shirt? Dragoon, slowly rising. It's jumping higher and higher. You got a points. Otherwise, you go further down. That's the dangerous points.
Up this much.
I don't know why we hate Dragoon. Voting it up.
Oh, God.
Can it make it? People saying Dragoon is B. Voting it down. I don't know. Oh, we don't hate on bar. We're just having fun.
You could put a poll for it. Let people spend their points that way.
On a poll?
Solidly in the middle of the pack. Yeah, there's a poll and people can spend points that way.
Okay, how to do a poll then? Let's do a poll. That way it's official.
All right.
Because I see a lot of ups and lots of downs.
Okay.
All right, guys, this is going to ultimately decide it. We're putting up a poll.
That way everybody can just... Because I think you can literally boost yours. I can only have 5 layers. What 5 do you think it should be? I don't think it's 6.
I don't think. No, I would say I would S, A, B, D, not a C, and then an F.
Okay. 2 minutes. Up it goes.
All right, guys. This is for all the marbles.
All the marbles. Who knows what Dragoon's gonna do? Who knows? It's chaos.
Chaos. I'm here to kill chaos.
What I love about Dragoon is I appreciate it as a job regardless of where it lands. Legitimately. It's just fun to meme on.
Has the poll started? I haven't seen it pop up.
Should be, yeah. I polled. Nobody's voted?
I haven't even seen it pop up to vote. And I'm not on the work to game one.
Oh, it got an F. It got an F. There it goes. A B. There it goes. B rank solidly. People are saying no poll. It's going.
Refresh the browser? Yeah, there it goes. I refreshed it. Now it's showing up.
All right.
Oh, wow. B right now taking the lead.
Minutes is quick.
I'm gonna put my vote in A.
Maybe some platforms aren't. Maybe polls aren't. Maybe you had to refresh.
Yeah, refresh.
Well, the good thing is, guys, we turned off ads for subscribers now. So I know if subscribers refresh, they will not get an ad. So we got rid of that, and then I got rid of pre-rolls. So you shouldn't get an ad when you refresh anyway. I assume because I got rid of pre-rolls. So we're changing that. All of this year, we've been running all of our giveaways off ad revenue. We're shifting that. So you had to refresh to get the poll. Oh my god, it's down to like 10 seconds with chat delay. I mean, it's time. It's locking in. Oh, man, wow. It is all over the place. It's S and B are taking the lead right now.
Oh man, this is so close. This is so tight and intense.
Oh man, there's no way.
Oh my gosh. B took it.
B took it.
Wow.
B took it.
All right. There we go.
With 14,000 points. 40 bits from Ashing. Thank you so much for the bits. Wow.
Wow. That's it, guys. Like, we sit down and we did it. That's so interesting. Y'all's thoughts, especially as it relates. Fun.
What's great is that this really represents literally nothing. Not DPS output, not raid slotting. This is just a way to organize these, and I adore it for that.
At least we're not bards, man.
At least we're not bards. And honestly, in Final Fantasy XIV, this really does show there are no DE and F classes. There aren't.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. Anybody that says that this game is poorly balanced has not played other MMOs.
Right. That's actually the real thing about the tier list is that all of these jobs are going to be in the raid, baby. You're not going to have to sit here and worry about it. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you guys be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share. Also, if you enjoyed any moments of this, be sure to clip those out and share those. We have in our Discord a special stream clips option. So if you find anything like that, you can go drop those clips there, and we can hopefully be able to turn those into some fun shorts, some fun moments. We do appreciate that. Chris, do you have any final thoughts before you take us out?
No, today is official Endwalker Day. We're going to be giving away, we gave away a Cruise Chaser earlier. We're going to give away another mount today, and then we're going to give away a couple of Cruise Chasers on the 23rd. And we'll also be in the afternoon streaming some New World because we have been selected for Twitch drops, our first time ever being a Twitch drop. So we're going to go give away. And I love that it's for fishing gear. Like, I can't think of anything more appropriate for me to do on stream than give away fishing gear.
Absolutely.
That's perfect. It's not anything that's talent based or quality gameplay. Like, it literally, it says in the FAQ, why was I chosen for this event as opposed to others? And they said, we tried to pair the right creator with the right event. And I was like, I got fishing gear. I don't know what that says about us, but it's perfect.
Woo, that was so much fun. Thanks everybody for being here. For Work to Game, Brian and Chris here. Signing off, and y'all have a good one.